Welcome to the Silicon Mythos, where we explore the forgotten stories that shaped our world. Today, let's delve into the life and works of Anne Bradstreet, a pioneering voice in early American literature who lived from 1612 to 1672. Anne was not just an author. She was a beacon of intellectual curiosity during a time when women had limited access to education. Her poems reflect the struggles and triumphs of her Puritan world. Born into a family of prominent merchants in Boston, Massachusetts, Anne Bradstreet's early life was marked by privilege and education. At 16 years old, she embarked on a transatlantic journey to America with her family, leaving behind the familiar comfort of England. The harsh conditions of their new home would soon shape her poetic voice, reflecting both the beauty and suffering of life in the New World. Anne Bradstreet's home in New England was not just a shelter, it was a sanctuary for her writing. Her small house, filled with books and family, became the backdrop for her literary endeavors. Despite the challenges of daily life, caring for a large family while managing household duties, she found solace in poetry, which provided an escape into a world of imagination. Anne's works often dealt with themes of faith, family, and the hardships of life. Her poem, Verses Upon the Burning of Our House, is particularly poignant, describing the loss of her home and possessions as a test from God. Through these losses, she found resilience and a deeper connection to her faith, which became a central theme in much of her poetry. In the early 17th century, Anne Bradstreet was ahead of her time. Her writings were not only groundbreaking for their content but also for their form. She experimented with various poetic forms, including sonnets and elegies, which were rare among women writers of that era. Her work challenged the status quo and paved the way for future generations of female authors. Despite her achievements, Anne Bradstreet's work remained largely unknown until it was discovered posthumously. Her poems were first published in England under a pseudonym, New England Female Providence. However, upon learning of their existence, Anne's family published them openly, allowing her voice to be heard and recognized. Today, she is remembered as one of America's earliest significant literary figures. Anne Bradstreet's poetry began to attract attention beyond her home and into the wider colonial community. People were captivated by her intimate reflections on love, nature, and faith that resonated deeply with those who read them. Her work soon became a topic of discussion in coffee houses and taverns across New England, where colonists would gather to share news and discuss their lives. In 1645, Anne's family took another bold step. They compiled her writings into a book titled The 10th Muse Lately Sprung Up in America. This act not only secured her literary legacy, but also paved the way for future generations of American women writers to find their voices and have their works recognized. Anne's poetry addressed themes that were not only personal but also deeply political. In poems like Verses Upon the Prospect of Boston, she celebrated her new home and encouraged its growth, subtly weaving messages of hope and perseverance into her verses. Her words inspired many to contribute to the building of a nation. Anne's influence extended beyond her own lifetime. In 1678, some 30 years after she wrote them, her poems were included in a collection that sparked renewed interest in her work. This resurgence helped solidify Anne's place as an important voice in American literature, setting a precedent for future generations of female authors. Even in her later years, Anne continued to write. Her final poems often reflected on mortality and the beauty of nature, providing insights that remain relevant today. These pieces, along with those from earlier periods, form a cohesive narrative of one woman's journey through life and its various joys and sorrows. The legacy of Anne Bradstreet endures to this day. Her pioneering spirit and literary talent continue to inspire both scholars and ordinary readers alike. As we delve into the pages of her poetry, we are reminded of the power of individual voices in shaping the narrative of a nation. Anne Bradstreet's life was marked by both sorrow and resilience. Born into a wealthy Puritan family in England, She faced numerous personal tragedies throughout her lifetime, including the loss of several children. These losses profoundly affected her poetry, imbuing it with a deep sense of grief and longing for paradise. Despite her personal struggles, Bradstreet's intellect flourished. She began writing poetry at a young age and continued to do so throughout her life. Her works often reflected the challenges of women during that era: femininity, piety, and societal expectations. Yet she cleverly intertwined these themes with a deep spiritual introspection. Her most famous work, The 10th Muse Lately Sprung Up in America, challenged the prevailing notion that poetry was solely for the elite. It celebrated American life and its virtues, making her one of the earliest known American poets. Through this collection, she laid down a poetic legacy that would inspire future generations. Anne's writings often drew comparisons to her contemporaries like John Milton. However, her unique voice set her apart. Her poems are characterized by their directness and emotional honesty, which resonated deeply with readers who saw in them reflections of their own experiences. Her legacy extends beyond her lifetime. Scholars continue to study her works, exploring themes like colonialism and religious freedom through her lens. Her poetry not only captures the essence of early American life, but also serves as a testament to the enduring power of human expression in the face of adversity. Anne Bradstreet's influence is felt even today. Her works continue to be taught in schools and universities across the country, introducing new generations to her profound wisdom and poetic artistry. As we close this chapter on her life, let us remember that every voice has the potential to shape history. In the vibrant halls of Harvard Square, where scholars gather to ponder profound ideas, a small monument stands quietly, commemorating Anne Bradstreet's legacy. This elegant stone statue, adorned with intricate carvings and inscriptions, serves as a reminder of her enduring impact on American literature. Today, her words continue to inspire not just writers, but everyone seeking to find meaning amidst life's complexities. Through poetry that spans themes from nature's beauty to personal trials, Bradstreet's voice remains as relevant today as it was centuries ago, making her a true pioneer in the literary world. As we reflect on her journey from colonial Massachusetts to becoming one of America's earliest and most celebrated poets, it is clear that Anne Bradstreet transcended her era. Her contributions continue to resonate, inspiring future generations to explore their own voices in literature. In closing this chapter on her life and works, we celebrate Anne Bradstreet's remarkable story. Her life teaches us that resilience, creativity, and the courage to express one's thoughts can leave an indelible mark on history. As she once wrote, "To be a muse of little note is but to say, I know not yet." Let her example guide our own journeys as we seek to understand and articulate the world around us. Her words continue to echo through time, not just as literary achievements, but as timeless wisdom. By sharing her story and celebrating her work, we ensure that the spirit of Anne Bradstreet's legacy endures, reminding us all of the power of the written word. As we conclude our exploration into Anne Bradstreet's life and works, let us carry her legacy forward. Her poetry invites us to question, reflect, and create. In honoring Anne Bradstreet, we celebrate not only an important chapter in American literary history, but also the enduring power of the human spirit to inspire and transform.